It is my great honor and privilege to stand on this stage with a freshman class of the Capitol Advocacy Leaders. Capitol Advocacy Leaders launched this year with 40 dedicated advocates ready to engage face-to-face, consistently and insistently with both houses of the California State Legislature. Their one mission is to bring the immediacy of your stories into direct and full contact with the Capitol. Each of these 40 leaders have adopted one key legislator in their home district and are hosting visits in their schools, engaging district offices, organizing brown bag sessions at the Capitol, and joining us in testimony when we speak in committee hearings. Our priority wins for funding, equitable facilities, and the freedom to achieve require our constant vigilance at every phase of this legislative cycle, and all of our engagement is desperately needed. Each of our initial 40 leaders today received a pin that they're wearing today in recognition of their leadership. If you see them in the hallways, please ask them how you can engage more deeply to advance our advocacy efforts in your district. This fall, these wonderful 40 will be joined by 40 new leaders, and next year, 40 more, until we have every single legislator held to account for every single vote, every single comment, and every single deal that advances or holds back our movement. And we will hold them accountable in the voting booth as well. Our Cal efforts in the Capitol are already paying off. Alfredo Rubalcaba of Magnolia Science Academy No. 8 in Bell has been assigned to shadow the chair of the Latino caucus, Senator Ricardo Lara. Alfredo knows that Senator Lara cares very much about the Dreamers, those students who were brought to the United States as undocumented migrants by their parents and who now see the bright promise of their impressive academic achievements dimmed by the complication of their status. Alfredo brought Dreamers to meet with Senator Lara, and they shared how having charter schools relentlessly focused on preparing them for college is also an important part of the dream. And for the first time, we have Senator Lara's attention and commitment to understand our issues better and how the hope that our charters represent helps his constituents. And we've reached another really important milestone this year. For the first time in more than a decade, a freshman Democratic legislator has agreed to author CCSA-sponsored legislation. Absolutely. Kathleen Malamo of Kid Street Learning Center is our Cal liaison to Assemblymember Mark Levine, and she deserves a lot of credit for that significant milestone. She jumped into her new role and hosted a roundtable for Mr. Levine, which turned into a one-on-one and a school tour and engaged continued contact. He left absolutely inspired by what she was doing. And just this past week, he introduced AB 2178, which addresses blended learning. So please, join me in recognizing and thanking this freshman class of the Capitol Advocacy Leaders for leading the charge and being our frontline advocates in the building. Thank you. Now, you know, advocacy is not something that only the professional class of advocates do, our Cal liaisons, or even your CCSA government affairs staff. Our success and our very existence is a threat to many. And the better we get as a movement, the harder they come. And that is why I want to invite you to join us in Sacramento on Wednesday, May 7 for Charter Schools Advocacy Day. We want to flood the Capitol and cover every single legislative office, ensuring that no legislator fails to understand the real impact of supporting our policy priorities or stopping those who would do us harm.